All right, Dr. Bauer. I think this is deja vu.
Deja vu. Good morning, Bob.
Deja
How are
vu.
you?
Hey, good morning. Hey, I bet you this summer in July that you probably had a lot of youth sports to work through with your kids. I'm sure it was very exciting, and I'm going to guess maybe like your championship weekend happened this weekend, and it kind of wrapped up for the summer. Doing a little restart here. I'm not sure what happened here. I lost a little internet. I don't know if it was my laptop, whatever. But if you're joining us live now, welcome to the month of July, July 24th, 2023. Dr. Bauer, good morning.
Good morning, Bob.
We'll do a refresh for everybody.
Yeah, if folks want to watch the update on the Bauer household, feel free to watch the last video that crashed in the middle of us doing it. Fun fact, losing Bob is like just absolutely unnerving. So I tried to carry the show by myself, and I'm glad it crashed because I don't do a good job without you, Bob.
No, I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So we were just getting into talking about, we were talking about school board meeting, recognizing our softball team and our girls track and field team doing an awesome job. Obviously the girls winning states and for softball, and the track team getting second. The other thing is, we did in our news update on Thursday, we did nearly 300 proclamations this summer. So in July and August at the work session here. And we also had an opportunity to recognize our music program and all the things they were doing in the spring. So it's like you said, the best part of the meeting always. It's a lot of fun to bring the kids in. And I think it also helps us all remind us, when we're doing business pieces that we're like, oh, this is why we're doing it, so the kids can excel. I don't know if you want, I lost you in the middle of your proclamation talk, so I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to say about it or.
No, I think you encapsulated everything I wanted to say or did say. I think folks will have seen that. And if you didn't hear my part, feel free to go back and watch it. But just really, you said it very well, Bob. Just so happy to celebrate the kids and see them smile. And, in July, it gets quiet in the office, right? And just to bring a bunch of kids and 300 students or student athletes into the boardroom at the last two meetings and give them high fives and handshakes and acknowledge their accomplishments. Just a nice reminder of why we do what we do.
That's awesome. Now we will always talk about this, and we'll be talking about this for a while. The high school renovation and the needs here at this high school and the plans moving forward. We had a big meeting last Monday night where we did some high school renovation planning with groups in our community as students and parents. Just talk to me about the overview of what happened last Monday, and we'll just go from there.
Yeah, so the premise of that meeting was really to get stakeholder thoughts and ideas on if we were to move forward with an addition for ninth grade, how would the community like it to look and feel? Right. So it was department chairs from all the departments at the high school, other folks who have interests elsewhere, like athletics and the arts and marching band and theater. Then we had community leaders. We had some township supervisors. We had some business owners. We had representatives from Merck there. And then we just had parents and kids as well, in addition to, of course, district administration and Schrader Group. So we invited just over 100. And I think when it was all said and done, we had about 90 there, which was a huge number. And it's just really neat to hear their ideas and thoughts. And in particular, no offense to anyone who was there, I loved hearing from the kids, and their perspectives on adding ninth grade to the high school campus. Just really, it was an exciting event. Actually hands-on activities where people were playing with essentially Legos and putting blocks in spaces and how could this fit here. I do think the one really funny comment that was made was one person said to me as I was walking around listening to the group's chat, was the objective of this to tell us that this is impossible? And I said, no, but it's difficult.
It's complicated.
It's very complicated and nuanced to develop a comprehensive high school campus.
Yeah, when I was walking around, and we'll do a feature on this at the facilities meeting at the end of the month. So I think it's the 31st next Monday night. We have a facilities committee meeting, and I'm going to show an overview of what happened that night. But walking around and getting to get to all the tables and getting video there, that was the interesting thing, to just listen to the kids and the parents and the community members think about this. Because I think if we keep saying this, there's no design. Here's the high school yet. There's concepts, there's there's priorities and trying to think about what we're doing. But it's really fascinating to listen about where things should go and why, to really get us thinking about, when we want to reimagine the high school, certain things math doesn't have to be in the exact same location that it was previously. We're talking about square footage and where could and should things go in the building. So it was really fascinating. And you'll hear some of that when we do the overview video on Monday night about what had happened there. But also going, well, this is harder than we thought. And I think one of the objectives too is just to go like, okay, there's going to be a lot of thought that has to go into this. This is not, we just add a building to the building. There's a little bit more to cafeterias and where people move and all of that. So I found it really fascinating to watch and listen to it because we've been in it. We've been talking about it for a while. And I have my thoughts. I'm sure you have yours. But it really made me also rethink like, oh, these are the thoughts I had, but all these things I heard too, so valid, and figuring out, where this is going. And I thought it was a good first meeting with the community. Next steps from that, what should people expect? We had this meeting, we got a lot of input from various groups. What would be next steps that are taking place from this meeting moving forward?
Yeah, so the two options that have been brought forward, and I love that you drove home the point that there is no design right now, right? There is no design. We were getting feedback to start the design and to have like a schematic design of what this could look like. But the two options that have been presented are one where we totally reimagine what the building looks like, how it's used and feels, and the structure itself. And then the other is essentially refurbishing or upgrade to our current structure. People know what the current structure looks like and feels like, right? And we've done tours, videos, and so people know what option 2 looks like, but we do need to give some specificity to, well, what would option 2 look like once it has been renovated, right? Once we have new paint, new systems, new floors, new windows, all those things, what's that going to look and feel like? Yeah. Whereas option 1 is completely, it's like a foreign object at this point, right? It's out there and it's an idea. We need to show folks what that could look like. So the objective was to give the architects some feedback from the community. They've heard from us, me, you, and others for years. We've been working with them on this, but we need to get some feedback. Now they actually, they do their architect thing and they are designing, problem solving with engineers, troubleshooting. And the objective is to have a 3D rendering, almost like a fly through of what the building could look like come, I'm going to say late fall. So November-ish. And that way we can start to show the community, okay, this is what you're voting for or against. This is what we would get with option 1. This is option 2. If we moved 9th grade to the campus, this is how it would look or feel. Again, that's not final, but we need to have something tangible to show the community. So the design phase is officially underway. And that's what they're working on the next few months.
Yeah, and I think that's when we show concepts, a lot I heard too were concepts and things when we looked at other schools, like, well, I don't like it that in that school, and I don't like this in that school. And when we show other schools or other construction projects, it's never saying we're going to build this because that's new and we're going to copy and paste that design. And I think that's really important for people to realize, like, we're working on it and we're showing you concepts of what other people have done. It does not mean that's exactly what we need to do here at North Penn, or if it makes sense for us as well. Yeah, the other part that I've been hearing and I read online is talking about some of the other needs. Like, we are all well aware that our middle schools, they do not have air conditioning. They need air conditioning. Of why we're not doing that right now also, because we know that's a need, just like we know North Penn High School has its needs and there's pieces here. But if you talk about the sequence of why we can't immediately just go and drop tens of millions of dollars on air conditioning right now at the middle schools, and how this high school project basically informs what we're doing there, which could even inform what our structure is at elementary. So right now, middle school, elementary, talk about our sequence and why it is the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, you can absolutely, when it comes to all these things, get, I believe the phrase is paralysis by analysis, right? Like, there can be so much minutia because there are so many things that need to occur. Look, I wish we had air conditioning put into our buildings 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 10 years, but we didn't. So this is where we are. And the greatest infrastructure need is at North Penn High School. It is the oldest non-renovated structure in the district, right? The middle schools, they were renovated late 90s, early 2000s, other than Penndale, right? And even that was, I don't remember.
1996 for Penndale, yeah.
There you go. So yes, it was renovated and the systems are more up to date than 1971, right? So would we love to have air conditioning in the middle schools? Yes, yes, and yes. The problem is those buildings will now need to be renovated again. So we need to decide, is ninth grade moving? Once that decision is made and we start planning appropriately, then we will decide what we're doing with the middle school buildings, which will, without a doubt, involve removing modulars, additions, and systems upgrades with air conditioning, right? But we can't put air conditioning in now. Move forward with the high school, which is the greater need, and then tear everything apart in the middle schools 10 years from now, after we've invested, say, 60 or $70 million in air conditioning. So the hope is to make a decision on the high school, begin that project, then we start to plan and begin middle school projects. Ultimately, if ninth grade moves out of the middle schools, we're going to have to decide what's going to happen with sixth grade, right? If ninth moves to the high school, then you have seventh and eighth in the middle schools. Are we keeping them 7, 8? Is sixth grade moving? There are modulars in some of our elementary schools as well, temporary modulars. So that's why you said, you know, that's one decision, then the next and the next. And this is a long range process, but we need to make the decision at the high school so that we are able to make decisions at the middle school and then ultimately at the elementary. But when
as I said, I think that's where people look like, oh, we've been talking about air conditioning for a while. And the issue, we've been talking about a lot of things for a while. The high school we've been talking about for a while of getting that process moving, but it's really difficult to say, like, let's just do this now. It's now nowhere near fiscally responsible to start renovating a middle school that we don't know is going to have ninth grade in it. You know, those kinds of things are very difficult. And that's the process. And I think for our community members, again, we talk about this all the time. And if you're big fans of the Facebook Live, you've been hearing it too, right?
Award-winning.
I forget, we are award-winning. That is true. So for our encouragement always is for our parents, our community members, everyone to continue just to kind of stay engaged, follow these pieces, go to our website. We have it right there on the front, reimaginenorthpennhighschool.org if you want to go directly to it without you want to bypass our webpage. But obviously, as these pieces begin to crystallize as far as schematic design and whether or not we're going to referendum, there's even more communication coming out to the community, because what's the most important part here as we make a decision? What do we want from our community?
We want everyone to be informed.
And we want to hear you. We want to hear what your thoughts are so that we can make a decision for this community. It is such a big one. It's more than a renovation. To me, it's really defining how we will do things for the next 50 years. So decision was made back in 1950, whatever, to consolidate all these schools and make North Penn High School. We just made North Penn School District 1966. It's one of those generation defining pieces of how we're going to do things in this community. And it's completely community based, especially in the referendum, right? What's Mr. Scrocky say?
It's the ultimate form of democracy.
Correct.
Right? Is letting the community weigh in. Are we going to move ninth to the high school or not? And we will have a path forward depending on the outcome of that referendum.
Yep.
I agree with you. This is a generational decision, but there are definitely going to be ripples if ninth grade moves to the high school, and it will impact the middle school and the elementary schools. So I'm pleased that the community has a role in this and deciding it. And what we want is for everyone to be informed. So I will continue talking about it. I will continue responding to every email, every phone call, attend meetings if you would like, but our job is to have informed voters.
So going, that's big. These are the big things, right? Let's talk about this last week too. Annually, we have for administrators a leadership academy. So talk about those couple of days that we do every year. For all of us, it's always required. We get it blocked out early in the year. In fact, I don't even know, we might have already blocked next year out. that these are the days all of us, while summertime people take time and do things, but there are 2 days in the summer that all of us administratively need to come together and talk about what are we talking about? What's going on at those 2 days there at Leadership Academy?
Yeah, it's a mixture of team building and camaraderie, goal setting, and innovation and creative thinking, but sit and get at times too. Right there is information that needs to be disseminated and given. We have legal experts come in and provide updates. We had a session on school safety and tabletop exercises, but we also had some fun and played some games. And you highlighted in the board update on Thursday evening, we played tug of war. We did relay races. We have to build the camaraderie and the teamwork, if you will, in order for this to be successful, just like any other team. So lots of valuable time spent, professional development, professional learning, but also just some good old fashioned fun and laughter.
Yep. And we appreciate the fun parts, because sometimes there's a little bit of growing, like we're going to get up and move and do like, okay, icebreaker, do this, go find out, like, okay.
Sure.
But it is always so much fun. And I learned something I didn't know. And I've known a lot of people here for a long time, and I learned something new about our team every year, and I love it. I think it's a lot of fun. So I was going to go check. I'm checking real quick. So you guys might have heard a little echo there. I was going to the other page. So just some questions. We've got Rahul, we've got Aaron, we've got Sarah that are liking, commenting, watching. Anthony Venziel, he's in the house. Hi, Anthony. Good to see you. So one of the questions was, when can we expect to see from our architect from Monday night, everybody's, because he took all the pictures and diagrams of all the pieces that people put together, of what he synthesizes from that. When would we first start to see, like, hey, this is what we heard from our community on Monday night, and this is kind of what we interpreted as what people put the priorities at? When would we start to see some of that, do you think?
Really good question. And I don't have an answer, but I can get an answer on Thursday. So
Excellent.
We have bi-weekly meetings with the architect. We call them planning meetings, program planning meetings. And we did the same thing for NAP. It was every 2 weeks initially. And then it starts to phase out when just like the work is getting done and the construction is getting done. Mm-hmm. So I will find out on Thursday. I don't know what that timeline is. I know that the objective is, like I said earlier in this conversation, to actually have like a 3D rendering of a proposal or a design come November.
Okay.
But
sounds good.
Yeah. I know that you're going to cover Monday night's meeting, like you said, at the facilities and operations meeting. So there will be some of that for those who weren't in attendance, but in terms of like Schrader Group's takeaways, I don't know when we'll have that. I would expect soon.
Got it. I want to talk about the summertime too, because as a school employee, I work all year round. You work all year round, and many people work year round. So we have our facilities and food service and our transportation department. Talk about the work that they're doing this summer to help us be ready for the start of the school year.
Yeah, my goodness gracious, do they work hard in the summer, right? I mean, that's when there are no students, hardly any staff in the buildings, that's when all the really great cleaning and hard work can get done. Small projects, big projects. If you go past North Penn High School, I haven't been there today yet. I'm actually headed for a community meeting here pretty soon. Did they start the roof?
Well, I know the cranes are there. I have not been out. I come in the back way. I come in Snyder Road. So, so I haven't seen if they're putting the materials up there, but I know the cranes and materials are all, they were ready last week. So I'm not sure if they started today or not.
They're supposed to start today. Yep. On the natatorium roof, which we're getting awfully close to preseason for water polo. So
weeks away. Yep.
We're hoping that's rolling. I know that the Gwyn Nor roof is, that is well underway. I've driven past there a couple times just to check in. So aside from the stuff you would assume, stripping and waxing floors, cleaning surfaces, upgrades and annual maintenance to systems, there's also big projects, parking lot lining, repaving, playground things. It's just, the list is endless when you have this many buildings and this many facilities to take care of, but they're working really hard. And then our school nutrition services team, they're still feeding kids and families throughout the summer. So we still have distribution sites, and we're still giving meals to our families who need that support.
Yeah, and we have Chromebrook distribution coming up with our tech team. All the bus routes, they're working on all the routes. I mean, how complicated busing is it's significant, and you can all imagine. So I know we're like, I don't understand why X, Y, Z, but there's a lot of moving parts because our buses just don't go to one school and come back, right? We have our 3 phases and everything else. So I know they're hot into getting the bus routes ready that we release here towards the end of August with our schedules. And I know a lot of people are like, when am I going to find out about my teacher? When am I going to find about my my schedule? And that'll come usually, I don't have the exact date. It's like pushing more third week of August, usually when we do it about a week before school starts. And that's normal. And that's normal to just make sure we get everybody in there, because we still have kids that are registering for school practically up to and even the day of school. We have kids still registering for the start of the school year. I do want to give a couple more shout outs like to throw out here. We've got Michelle. Stormy Vogel is watching. Hi, Stormy.
Oh, Stormy Vogel. I got to be honest with you.
Yeah, Cheryl, Chip, Nadine, Diana's watching. I think I said Eva's watching. Amy's here. So just with Samantha, Sarah, I'm not sure if I said these names before, but thank you for watching and tuning. If you had a question, throw it in the chat here. Seems like it gets a little, Stormy said hi. It's not that delayed. But there might be a little delay to get to that there. Some of the other things that go on, we have our summer read alouds. We have our libraries that are open for students in the summer. I know you have a read aloud coming up. What happens there for our kids, and how do people get involved in that?
Yeah, I think this is one of the things that came out of the pandemic that was a great thing. Certainly there were many tragedies and bad things, but there were a few great things, and this is one of them. Just to engage kids over the summer with their learning, we started doing virtual read alouds, which is exactly what you expect. Let's see here. I have a book.
What's your book? What's your book?
No, this is not a preview.
Oh, okay.
I just have a book here on my desk, and it's titled The Happiness Advantage by Sean Aker. It's a leadership book. However,
you're not reading that tonight to our kids, no?
I am not.
Okay, all right.
We legitimately sit here and read books and show the pages and engage with the kids. We ask questions. So tomorrow night I am reading to 3rd to 6th graders. Last week I was scheduled to read to K to 2, and then we had interviews for the Walton Farm principal position that I had to bail on my read aloud, but I got somebody to cover. So it's just fun. It's neat. And I've been on there where it was just 3 kids in me, but I've also been on there when there's 20 in me, and just an opportunity to engage with kids, say hello. And you know that their parents are kind of behind the computer screen, listening in, and it's just a good way to reach out to the community. So I enjoy it. I think our other administrators who participate do as well.
Awesome. I have a book. If you don't, you going to give out your book, what the title is, or you're going to wait?
No, I'll pick a book tomorrow when I'm in my office. I
have one. I've got a good one.
Okay.
I might save that for whenever I might do a read aloud, but
you should do it. You would be great.
I have one book that I always, it's my go-to. So I'm going to hold that.
Okay.
I'm going to keep that there. Just a couple other things. I know we heard at the board meeting, and one of the things, this month is Disability Pride Month. And we are currently flying the flag with the Pennsylvania flag underneath there, Pennsylvania, and then Disability Pride Flag Month for the month of July. And that's flying at the ESC right now. Last month was Pride Month. And we have flags that fly on our poles every once in a while. Do you want to talk about that, or how we come to that, and how those decisions are made to fly whichever flag we're flying each month? And there's not always the flag flying. That's on the American flag is 100% 365 every day, always flying. But on our other flag pole or underneath the Pennsylvania flag, those types of things, how do we get to those kinds of flags, and how do they end up on a pole?
Yeah, and I tried to explain this on Thursday night, Bob, at the meeting, and I didn't do a great job, in watching the meeting back. Certainly, I want to support all kids. Right? All kids. And however, we have to be careful not to choose one group's flag versus another, right? As a school district. So you might have a group of students that say, hey, can you raise the, let me think of a club, the Thespians Club. Can you raise our flag, right? You say yes to one group of kids, and then maybe you have a group of kids who want to raise a flag that has something that you would not want to hang on a flagpole. And now all of a sudden, as a school district, you're discriminating between one group of students and another, right? So rather than have that circumstance where you're picking and choosing which flags you're raising, we as a school district have decided that we're going to fly the American flag and we're going to fly the Pennsylvania state flag. In the meantime, we're working on an administrative regulation or policy that dictates the process for which flags will fly when.
Sure.
However, the Pride flag last month and the Disability Pride flag this month were flown by our board of directors, right? So they are elected officials and they have the right and they have the free speech to fly flags that they want to and not fly flags that they don't want to. Whereas a school district, those of us employed by the district, we are not picking and choosing which flags go up or down. That is up to the board of directors to decide. So I didn't say that very well on Thursday night. I do want to give a shout out to Mrs. Nina Vos, who brought to our attention about Disability Pride Month and asked, would we consider flying the Disability Pride flag? Of course, that is something that aligns with the mission and vision of a school district, supporting all kids. And so she reached out to Mrs. Stoll and they chose to purchase and fly that flag, which I think is a beautiful thing. So I just wanted to, it has nothing to do with which flag. Rather, I was trying to explain that this is the board's prerogative to raise certain flags while not raising others. And I just don't think I said it well, and it didn't come out clearly. So I hope I did a better job today, but really excited that we as a entity, a public school entity, that our board of directors chose to fly the flags just to support kids and let kids know we love you, we care for you, and you are a wonderful part of this community.
Awesome. Now, I think that hopefully that clears up some of those questions. I'm going to throw some more shout outs here. We've got Matthew and Kimberly and Alicia, Matt Clank, who was at our school board meeting in early July, getting lots of proclamations with his kids.
Proclamations for music.
Diana, Amy, Mara. So just scrolling up here. No questions, just people watching. So thanks for watching. So doesn't seem like we had it was a fast month to me. July just screamed by here. It's next week is going to be over. And then I always say this at the beginning of the summer, we all have tons of projects, but it's usually like the second day after graduation. I'm like, summer's over. It's over. It's already over. Like we have no time. Feels like that, right?
Yeah.
But we're getting into August next month. We'll do one of these updates. When's the 20th? So that'd be like the 21st would be our next one of these.
Okay.
And by that point, we'll have all kinds of info for start of school orientation. Maybe schedules are out that week.
They're out the week before that, I believe.
Sure. Anything else for our community as we begin to look at the end of July and head into August, which I do consider the August the start of the new school year for me. I don't know about you. I'm ready to get going in the next year. Anything for the rest of the summer here for our community and parents and everybody else watching?
No. August is, I refer to it as the Sunday of summer, right? Because like on a Sunday evening, it's time to get your head right and get ready to go back to work on a Monday during the school year. August 1st feels that way for me. Like it's all right, it's showtime. Kids start coming back for fall athletics, for band, things like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I love the hustle and bustle of a new school year. It's exciting. There's always a lot of energy. We're doing a lot of hiring right now. Since the last time we met, we had the announcement that Mrs. Tanya Swavely, the principal at Pembroke, will be leaving the district. She chose to take a position closer to her home. She currently drives an hour to work and she has 3 young children. So we understand it, but we're sorry to see her go. So we're in the process of that job is posted and we need to work our way through the applicants. We are hopefully going to recommend a principal for Walton Farm here very soon. We had the final round of interviews on Thursday. So I'm excited about that and more news to come. But we're hiring for teaching positions, for support staff positions, bus drivers, substitutes. That's the summer is consumed by facilities projects and lots of hiring.
Hiring. Yep. Getting ready for the next school year here. I came up with a name for August then. It's School Year's Eve.
School Year's Eve. Love it, Bob.
That's right. The entire month of August is School Year's Eve. So, all right. So I'm going to do this because I've been saying the names, but thanks for watching. We got Jennifer, Marianne, Danielle, Mary, fake-ish is watching. Thanks, Mary. She's literally on the other side of the wall here. Matt, I think I said Kimberly. We got everybody here. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate. Hopefully some of this information was helpful. We had the false start at the beginning. I'll probably end up deleting that one, Dr. Bauer. I don't know. What do we say? We leave in the first 3 minutes that we lost our internet on, or?
No, I think you can delete that. I think we covered all the bases here. Gotcha. As always, Bob, thanks for doing this for this award-winning Superintendent
Live. All right, everybody. We hope you enjoy the rest of your summer here. We'll be talking to you real soon. Next Monday, again, after this high school renovation meeting we had, look for some highlights from us from North Penn Television at the Facilities Committee meeting, which is 7 p.m. on Monday night, the 31st, right? Not tonight, next Monday. And then you'll be hearing lots from us. Check out the website, North Penn Television, youtube.com. I think that's all I got. Oh, real quick. Sorry. There is an app for WNPV.
Look at this app. Does everybody, the viewers at home, do you notice the way he moved his head a little bit to show you the logo for WNPV?
Going the wrong way here, yeah. So as we get into it, there aren't a whole lot of kids jumping on air right now. We're training and doing different pieces. But if you search WNPV on your app store, whatever device you're using, you can download the WNPV app. A, you can listen to it. But B, when we have live DJs, because I'm not going to really pay attention to it 24/7, you can make requests for songs and other pieces in that app, which is a lot of fun. So there is a new app you can try downloading. There's always the NPTV app, also on Fire Stick, Apple TV, and Roku. So you can watch when the content's live. There's a huge video library there of all the content from the past year, school board meetings, etc. And it looks amazing on your TV when you download those apps. So check those out. I just got excited. I forgot about the WNPV app. So
the other day we were in the car. I almost always listen to like Spotify.
Sure.
Okay. I listen to a lot of podcasts and whatever. And we're in the car and we're actually listening to the radio. And of course it was commercial after commercial after commercial. So I was like, you know what? Let's see what Mr. Gilmer's playing on 98.5 WNPV.
Was it 5 p.m.?
It was not Rush Hour. I think we've said on this show, Bob loves Rush. So 5 p.m. is always Rush Hour. He plays Rush. However, I forget what it was, but it was a somber tune. There wasn't much energy there, and my son was like, "Dad, you need to text Mr. Gilmer right now." But anyway, I usually during the morning drive, it is some uplifting, happy music. I enjoy it. So thank you.
Well, that's what we call the music in the morning. It's less old music in the morning. Because older music's at night. Now we do the 70s, and all of our big 70s fans out. My 70s mix is stellar. It's so good at night. So I don't know when you were listening, but I love our 70s mix. We're working on our 80s. I always say this: we fondly recall 80s music of how awesome it is, but actually, when you go through all the lists, you're like, maybe not so much. It's tough getting really good 80s mix. I'm working on it. So, and then as you'll hear throughout the summer, our kids starting to practice and get ready for the school year when they do their live DJing on the air. So anyway, sorry, quick promo there. We're wrapping up. Dr. Bauer, enjoy your baseball lacrosse list week or two.
Yes, thank you.
To get ready for the new year. Everyone else, we really appreciate you watching, and we hope you have a wonderful rest of your summer, and we talk to you next in August. Take care, everyone.